Cultivate is for every woman, irregardless of your culture or your nationality or race. Because ultimately, in God, we're all one. We're a body, one body. And so it's not African American Christian or an Asian Christian or a Caucasian Christian. We're here to minister to everybody, Christians and non-Christians alike. But we're doing it under the instruction and guidance of the Bible. Another thing that it says is, he who does not love remains in spiritual death. We don't want to be spiritually dead where we feel like we think that we're okay with God, that we're walking in righteousness, but God is saying on the inside, you're dead. You're not alive. There's no vibrancy in the person that you're bringing forth. There's no life that you're giving to other people because you're not walking in love. The Bible even speaks of it as being like a murderer, just because we don't love our brother and our sister. It means we're not gossiping about people. It means we're not talking ill of people and the things that they have going on, but it does mean that we can pray for one another. We can build each other up. And that's what I see happening in Cultivate. We have a sisterhood where we drop prayers to each other. We say, I need prayer for a specific thing, and our sisters are on it. It doesn't mean that the person who leads it has to be the one to pray, because we have a group of women who are always available to pray and to support each other. 1 John 2:5 says, the love of God is perfected when we walk according to his righteous standards. And so we want to understand what that is, what that looks like. It means with your spouse, that you're building them up. You edify them. You're not tearing them down. You're not speaking against them. You're not calling them out of their name. And sometimes these things can occur even in our thought processes. We may not be speaking things out of our mouths, but it sure is in our hearts and in our minds what we're saying and discussing about people or, our spouses. When we look at them, it's not looking at your spouse and being disgusted with what you're seeing because they've changed over the years and they don't look like what they used to look like, or they don't carry themselves. They've matured some, or they've just changed in their personality. They don't like what they used to like. And so now you're turned off by them and you treat them differently. That is not the love of God. Our marriages are supposed to look like the marriage of Christ to the body of believers. And so then we have to step back and think, how does Jesus treat the body? Surely he doesn't call us out of our name. Surely he doesn't speak ill will of us. He's always desiring the best for us. And that's what this is all about, desiring the best for other people, not just ourselves. So it also means in business, the way that we conduct ourselves. We're not stepping on people to get ahead in life. We're not kicking people to the curb. Sometimes I hear people talking about their inner circle, and that they need to change the circle that they're in. They need to level up where the people in their circle are now people who can take them somewhere. And I've thought about that often and think, is that really Christ? I understand that we need people who can help to take us beyond where we are, but also we have a responsibility to bring people along to the paths that we've already taken, to the experiences that we've already had. We aren't supposed to leave any man behind, especially in the body of believers. We're always caring about our brothers and sisters in Christ. First of all, by the sisterhood, there's not a specific age group. We have women who are in their 20s. We have women in 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. It's open to any age group so that you will be able to have someone in that group who has the experience that you may not have had, who will provide godly insight to you as to what you can do in those different facets of your life, your soul, your spiritual, your soul, your physical environments in your life. And if it's your job or your vocation that you're unhappy with, then we're going to push you to say, then what is it? What is it that God is telling you that you should do, or that you have a desire to do? Because sometimes we don't always hear the voice of God, but He has instilled passions in us, desires in us through our giftings or the skills that He's even imparted to us. What are those? Find out what they are. What do you want to do? Take a spiritual gifts test to see what can help you. So every piece of knowledge or wisdom that we have obtained, it's open to everyone in that group. And collectively, we should be able to help everyone become who God sees them as being in their life. We don't want anyone to come and be unfulfilled in anything that they're doing, and that when their time is up, when God has said it's time for us to come home with Him, that we have fulfilled it, and He's able to say, well done, thy good and faithful servant. So even at 65, there are things that women are dealing with: menopause, women are dealing with empty nest. And so you can not only be a beneficiary from the group, but you can be an asset to the group where you're providing your insight as well. So it just starts with not your age, but what do you need help with? How can we help you? And in any area that you name, we're going to make sure. We may not have the skills and expertise, but we know someone who does. And we're going to move together as a body. We're all sheep in this thing, and Jesus is the shepherd. So we're going to all come together as the sheep, listen for the shepherd's voice, and we're going to move. And for those who have trouble hearing, we're going to help them hear, so that we can all move as one body and fulfill what God has brought us here on this earth to do.